Court filing says Lutnick helped kill Tuffer. Crypto bill as Tether's banker. A U.S. court filing claims that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, during the years his firm handled Tether's banking, managed to kill crypto legislation, the stablecoin issuer considered unfavorable. Bloomberg reported the detail on July 23, 2026, citing the filing. The allegation lands while Lutnick holds a cabinet seat with direct influence over U.S. economic and trade policy, and while Congress is still writing the rules for stablecoins. The claim matters less for any single vote than for what it says about the distance between the people who issue dollar-pegged tokens and the people who regulate them. Tether's USDT is the largest stablecoin used for spending and settlement in crypto, and its reach now touches payment rails, exchanges, and card programs worldwide. The banking relationship at the center of the filing. Lutnick ran Cantor Fitzgerald for decades before joining the administration, and Cantor's role as a banker to Tether has been public for some time. The firm held U.S. treasuries and cash tied to Tether's reserves, an arrangement that gave Lutnick a commercial stake in Tether's continued operation. The new element is the filing's characterization of what that relationship produced in Washington. Rather than a passive banking arrangement, the document frames Lutnick as an active participant in steering legislation away from outcomes Tether disliked. The phrase quoted, "managed to kill," is the filing's language, not a court finding. No ruling has established the claim as fact, and Lutnick has not, in the reporting available, responded to this specific allegation. Regulatory capture is the real question. The story fits a pattern crypto skeptics have flagged for years. The same names recur as bankers, lobbyists, investors, and now regulators. When a person who profited from a stablecoin issuer later holds a cabinet post shaping stablecoin rules, the concern is not one bad vote. It is whether the rulemaking process can be trusted to weigh consumer protection against industry preference. That concern is timely. U.S. regulators recently missed a rulemaking deadline tied to stablecoin oversight, leaving parts of the framework unfinished. Into that gap steps a Commerce Secretary whose past commercial interests ran through the largest issuer in the market. Coinbase chief Brian Armstrong, in a separate post the same day, warned that if regulators can secretly debank an entire lawful industry, no business is safe. The two threads point in opposite directions politically, but both circle the same worry. That access to power, not clear rules, decides who wins. Practical stakes for stablecoin users. For people who hold or spend USDT, the filing changes nothing about the token's day-to-day mechanics. Balances still move, cards still settle, and Tether's reserves are still reported on its own schedule. The exposure here is structural rather than immediate. Stablecoin holders carry counterparty risk that does not disappear because a token trades at $1. If reserve quality, banking access, or legal standing shifts, the value that looks fixed can move fast. That is the same lesson from earlier custodial failures, where balances that appeared safe were frozen once the entity behind them faltered. A filing that ties a sitting official to the largest issuer is a reminder that the political scaffolding around stablecoins is as relevant to risk as the reserves themselves. Crypto markets did not react to the report. Bitcoin traded at $66.95 as of July 23, 2026, down 0.8% on the day, with Ether at $1,935 and the broader Fear and Greed Index sitting at a neutral 40. Regulatory and political stories of this kind rarely move price in the moment. Their weight shows up later in how the rules get written and enforced.